At 10, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Good evening and thanks for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 10. I'm Brent Hardin.
And I'm Sarah Sanchez. The summer heat is on and it's humid too, with summer in full swing. We're tracking more heat this week, which is tough for anyone without an air conditioner or for the kids playing at camp all day.
Yeah, it sure is. Let's check in now with Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank for a first look at the forecast. Rachel, what kind of temperatures are we talking about?
We're looking at high temperatures in the low, even mid-90s possible for some. I think we're going to do today's temperatures all over again. However, the exception will be it actually turns a little bit more humid tomorrow, if you can believe it. And for that reason, a heat advisory remains in effect into tomorrow night because the heat index, how hot it really feels when you take both the temperatures and the humidity into consideration, feeling like between 95 to 100. So whatever you did to stay cool today, you're trying it again tomorrow. Here's a look at the current temperatures. And keep in mind, it's 10 o'clock at night and it's 82 in Windsor Lock, 77 in Waterbury, 76 in Norwich. And temperatures won't be cooling off all that much tonight. So that makes it really tough for those without air conditioning to cool off your home just by opening up the windows. It's warm, it's muggy, overnight lows staying in the 70s, and we will see areas of patchy fog and low clouds develop. So it might look a little bit murky and even misty for some, especially towards the Connecticut shoreline. If you saw fog this morning, it will be a repeat performance for tomorrow morning. So check in with the Fox 61 Morning Show crew. They'll get you started and let you know any places that have some trouble spots. And then it is a hazy, hot and humid afternoon. High temperatures again around 90. Slight chance for an isolated late day shower or storm, but most stay dry. And here's a look at those heat indices as we head through the afternoon. Wow. There is a rising chance for showers and storms as the week progresses. We'll explain your full forecast coming up.
All right, Rachel, thank you. Well, starting tonight, the young people of Hartford have a new way to enjoy their evenings this summer. The city launched its Summer Night Gyms program.
City officials say it's not only a way for students to beat the heat, but also stay engaged and off the street. Fox 61's Jake Garcia has the story.
Whether it's to play sports to stay active or to get creative, there's something for every student in the capital city. The city of Hartford, along with Hartford Public Schools, has partnered with various nonprofits to offer their night gym program on weekdays from 4 to 8 p.m. at several different locations throughout the summer, free of charge.
Our kids in Hartford deserve everything that kids in neighboring towns are getting. And part of that is a really robust sports and recreation program that's in every neighborhood in the city.
The different locations offer different types of programs throughout the week, from sports like basketball, volleyball, and soccer to other activities like board games, esports, double dutch, dance, and parkour. Hartford's mayor says it's one of the few ways the city is helping kids stay active while also preventing crime and providing emotional support and mentorship.
They need the emotional and mental social supports they need, ensuring we're stopping cycles of violence before they happen.
Bernard Thomas with the Hartford Knights say last year the program reached capacity in the first 2 weeks, so families should sign up fast.
So I expect it to be, once again, full house again. And anything that people can do to help out as far as juices and stuff like that for the children within that time frame, that'll be great, really appreciated.
State leaders praising the efforts by the city.
Yes, I grew up going to the Rex, where we had opportunities to play sports and stuff after school. And for years, we were trying to get those schools open so they could have opportunities for kids. And finally, this mayor did a great job of getting these gyms open.
The city is also offering swimming lessons at several city pools. Right now, the Colt Park swimming pool is the only one open, but more are expected to open this week.
But we want to have all 4 of our pools open and beautifully newly renovated pools so you can cool off on hot days like today and for the whole family, and then keep these night gyms open for our young people at night.
In Hartford, Jake Garcia, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
All right, Jake, thank you. Now to an update on a story we first brought you last month, where 2 Norwich police officers were injured while breaking up a big fight at Jenkins Park. One of those officers is still recovering and off the streets for now.
But tonight, the department's releasing the body-worn camera footage from the incident. Fox 61's Julie LeBlanc breaks down the video from outside City Hall.
Following the incident, videos of it circulated on social media, resulting in some pushback for some of the officers' actions. Now, tonight, the Norwich Police Department is releasing its own videos to show the perspective of the officers from that incident.
This is the widest view we have of the entire scene.
Norwich police officers going through body-worn and dash camera video from an incident that happened at Jenkins Park last month.
Send us everybody you got. We'll take mutual aid, too. 2 of us for 200 people.
Police say they initially got called to what was an unsanctioned remembrance event involving upwards of 300 people to break up a fight.
Hey.
During those efforts, as they were helping a victim from the original fight, Norwich police say 23-year-old Jalen Jarman threw a water bottle at the back of someone's head.
Where are they?
As officers approached him, they say Jarman was sprayed with pepper spray before putting one of the officers in a headlock.
You have an officer in a potentially life-threatening neck restraint, something that as a police department, we can't even use for state law. So obviously seconds matter in that.
Norwich Police Chief Patrick Daly says officers then used their hands, more pepper spray, and a taser to get Jarman to release the chokehold, eventually arresting him.
It's a challenging situation. It's a lot of unknown. You can see the size of the crowd there, people running in, people wanting to interject themselves.
Chief Daly says they're looking for other suspects and piecing the complicated situation together. But Jarman's mother, who was in the room as police went through this video, isn't pleased by what she's seeing.
I'm just not happy. I don't believe that they de-escalated it the way that they should have. I think they could have done better. Looks like they filled out the application and showed up the next day.
Tanika Davis claims her son was involved in an altercation prior to the officers getting involved, got pepper sprayed, and then wasn't sure who he was fighting.
He was maced, he was running, he was in the blind, and they never identified themselves.
Davis pointing specifically to the moment her son drops to the ground after a taser was deployed, which she says was her son's only indication that he was brawling with officers.
You can see that my son is in the fetal position up against the car, and he is still being beat after the fact.
Now, while the chief of police says his officers did a good job controlling a chaotic situation, he has asked the state's attorney's office to take a look at all of those videos and make its own determination. We are in Norwich. Julia LeBlanc, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
The 25-year-old accused of hitting and killing a local construction worker on the road was in court today. Tommy Nguyen's case once again being continued as his defense tries to get his medical records admitted. They say those records will show a history of seizures, which his family says caused the deadly crash in Hartford last month. Well, today was meant to be a plea hearing. It'll pick up again at the end of the month. Nguyen is currently being held on $1 million bond. The man killed on the job, 54-year-old Jose Diaz Nieves, is already inspiring new legislative proposals and conversations about road worker safety.
New at 10, a Westport man pleads guilty to assaulting law enforcement during the insurrection at the U.S. Capitol. According to court documents, 22-year-old Benjamin Cohen was among the crowd of rioters gathered along a police line on Capitol grounds on January 6th. Authorities say Cohen was shoving and hitting police officers. Cohen was arrested in August of last year. He'll be sentenced in November.
Well, new tonight, a tenant union is formed in Bloomfield as residents at one apartment complex fight against what they say are unfair rent increases, evictions, and lack of maintenance.
The Manor House Tenant Union held its first public action this afternoon, demanding management meet them at the negotiating table.
Fox 61's Kaylee Collins was there. She joins us in studio tonight with what they had to say. Kaylee.
Well, Brent and Sarah, it's a story that Fox 61 has been following. Rental rates here in the state have been making it increasingly challenging for renters to get by. Tenants over at the Manor House apartment complex in Bloomfield are just the latest to band together to call for change, gathering outside management offices today to send their message.
When I say union, you say power. Union power.
A new affiliate of the Connecticut Tenants Union is making itself known in Bloomfield.
We are in a fight of our lives here in Connecticut.
Residents involved with the Manor House Tenants Union are fed up.
What do we want?
Fair leases.
When do we want them?
Now.
They say they've been dealing with unfair rent hikes ranging from just a few dollars to hundreds and evictions while maintenance requests go unanswered. Over 100 of the 125 apartments voted to form a tenant union as a local chapter of the Connecticut Tenants Union.
It's not justifiable to increase the rent and there's no updates. There's mold issues. The garbage cans in the laundry, they're overflowing.
Residents here laying out those very concerns and requesting a meeting with management in a formal letter, which they say has not gotten a response yet.
The union saying, hey, you have a problem, but we're here to solve it with you.
The current property owner, Navarino Property Group, acquired the complex back in February. While tenants say these issues existed prior to that purchase, their concerns have largely been ignored by the new management.
As tenants, we have so little power as individuals. We could get faced with a rent hike of any drastic amount at any time and be forced to uproot our lives. It's time to band together, see how much leverage we can have and negotiating power we can have as a union.
I'm hoping that this new property owner takes it serious and is willing to sit down and talk, because we're not hostile. We just don't want to be scared about being able to eat or pay our rent.
And attempts to reach Navarino Property Group for comment were unsuccessful. Coming up at 11, we'll dive deeper into the growing trend of these tenants union and some of the wins that they've already had here in Connecticut in recent years. In studio tonight, Kaylee Collins, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.